The lead actress of The Devil Wears Prada, whose first film was released in 2006 and whose second film has recently hit theaters, Anne Hathaway, is a very popular actress, yet many aspects of her life remain unknown. Today, together, we will take a detailed look into the life of this popular actress, and we will thoroughly discuss her career, the events reflected in the media, and her life in full detail. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel to support me, and let me know in the comments which actor or popular figure you would like to see in the next video. Now, if you're ready, let's get into the video. Anne Hathaway, although not widely known, was born as Anne Jacqueline Hathaway on November 12, 1982 in the Brooklyn area of the United States. Her mother, Kate Macaulay Hathaway, is a talented theater actress, and her father, Gerald Hathaway, is a lawyer. Anne Hathaway's family had relatively good financial conditions. Her interest in acting, or rather in art, comes directly from her mother. Especially her mother's performance in the musical Les Miserables led her to develop an interest in acting from a very young age. She spent her childhood in Millburn. As I mentioned, although she had a relatively comfortable life financially, growing up in a strictly Catholic family made things a bit challenging for her. During her teenage years, she seriously questioned her religious beliefs and moved toward a much more secular perspective compared to her family. Throughout her education, she actively participated in performing arts, took part in school theater productions, and developed her acting skills at a very young age. At the same time, she received vocal training, which made her stand out in stage performances. She began her professional acting career in 1999 with the TV series Get Real. Although this series marked her entry into the television world, it did not make her widely popular or known to large audiences. Her real recognition and rise to fame date back to 2001. The film The Princess Diaries, released in 2001, became a turning point in Hathaway's career. With her portrayal of Mia Thermopolis, she attracted great attention from a young audience and quickly gained popularity. Following the film's major success, its sequel, The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement, was released in 2004. During this period, Anne Hathaway began to be recognized as a teen movie actress and associated with innocent characters. However, unfortunately, this image later became a stereotype that she needed to break. By the mid-2000s, Hathaway wanted to take on more diverse and mature roles in her career. One of the most important steps in this transformation was the film The Devil Wears Prada, released in 2006. In this film, she played the character Andy Sachs and starred alongside Meryl Streep. This movie became one of the most successful films in Anne Hathaway's career, both commercially and critically, and proved that she could take part in much more serious projects. During this period, she began to take part in projects of different genres in order to improve her acting skills. In 2005, she took on a supporting role in the film Brokeback Mountain, and in 2007, she played the leading role in Becoming Jane. These projects significantly strengthened Hathaway's performance in romantic and dramatic roles. However, unfortunately, this rise in her career was overshadowed by developments in her private life. In the late 2000s, she started a relationship with Italian businessman Raffaello Folieri, but in 2008, Folieri became the subject of a major fraud scandal. The businessman was arrested for this crime, and Hathaway's name was also mentioned negatively in the media. It was revealed that Folieri had defrauded investors by using alleged connections with the Vatican. Although Anne Hathaway did not face any charges during this incident, the frequent association of her name with this scandal in the media greatly affected her public image. It was also reported in the press at the time that the FBI contacted Hathaway to examine certain financial records. This period became a significant and pressuring time in the actress's career. After this process, Hathaway focused more on her career and continued to take part in much stronger projects. In 2008, she starred in Rachel Getting Married and received great acclaim for her performance. Thanks to this performance, she was nominated for the first time in the Best Actress category at the Academy Awards. This nomination became a major turning point in her acting career. In 2010, she portrayed the White Queen in Alice in Wonderland, and the film achieved great commercial success. This film also increased Hathaway's international recognition. In the same year, she starred in Love and Other Drugs and earned a Golden Globe nomination for her performance. By 2012, one of the peak points of Hathaway's career, The Dark Knight Rises, was released. In this film, she portrayed Selina Kyle, also known as Catwoman, and proved that she could also succeed in the action genre. In the same year, she played the character Fantine in Les Miserables. For this role, she went through an intense physical and emotional preparation process, lost weight, and cut her hair. Her performance received outstanding praise from critics, and in 2013, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Despite all this success, Hathaway's public image remained complex, especially after her Oscar speech. She received criticism on social media and in some media outlets for being overly artificial, which led to the emergence of a wave of hate known as Hathaway in internet culture. During this period, both her behavior and her interviews were frequently criticized, and some groups strongly accused her of being insincere. This situation led to discussions focusing more on her personality rather than her career. By the mid-2000s, Hathaway began to take part in more selective projects. She worked under the direction of Christopher Nolan in Interstellar and took part in an important science fiction project. Around the same time, she shared the leading role with Robert De Niro in The Intern. As you can see, Hathaway focused heavily on her career and took part in many successful projects. She wanted to break the perception of being insincere and artificial and aimed to continuously elevate her career. However, as you might expect, people focused more on her presence in the media rather than her talent or success. Anne Hathaway married Adam Schulman in 2012, and the couple has 2 children from this marriage. Especially after her marriage, Hathaway chose to live her private life much more out of the public eye. As a result, the negative perception on social media gradually decreased, and she began to regain a more positive image. Particularly in the following years, her more sincere and natural attitude in interviews helped her break this perception to some extent. The film The Devil Wears Prada 2, which has recently been released, is considered to be much more than just a sequel that relies on nostalgia. The film was released with great expectations by building on the cult status of the original 2006 production, and this expectation is largely directly connected to Anne Hathaway's return to the project. In the film, Hathaway once again portrays the character Andy Sachs, but this time she is no longer a young assistant new to the industry. Instead, she appears as a figure who has advanced in her career, gained experience in journalism, and developed a much stronger identity. Within the story, Andy Sachs being forced to return to the fashion world creates a conflict between her past and present. At this point, Anne Hathaway's impact can be evaluated under 2 main headings. The first is her direct contribution to the film's commercial success. The film achieved over $230 million in revenue in its opening weekend, making one of the biggest openings of 2026. The reunion of the original cast played a major role in this success, and the central figure of this core cast is Anne Hathaway. The second impact is the cultural influence of the character. In the first film, the character of Andy Sachs represented a young woman caught between career, identity, and personal values. In the sequel, however, this character has transformed into someone much more mature, more aware, and experienced in the industry who knows how to act within that environment. In short, the character has achieved the kind of career transformation that many young women dream of. Because of this, she has become an idol for many young girls. Anne Hathaway's acting performance in the film also plays a critical role at this point, because she does not seem like she is portraying a fictional character, but rather living the life of a woman who has experienced the struggles of entering the industry and then successfully built her career over time. In other words, Hathaway brings the character to life. In short, while Anne Hathaway becomes indispensable for the audience through her character, she has also become an essential figure for producers and studios thanks to her remarkable career and her strong impact on the film's marketing. It is hoped that she will continue both the commercial success and the acting performance she achieved in The Devil Wears Prada 2 in her future projects. To briefly summarize Anne Hathaway, although she has an outstanding career and acting talent, these qualities were overshadowed for a time due to the public's focus on her private life. Because of her personal life, her personality, and even her career were criticized, and she was subjected to what can be described as a global wave of backlash. However, just like Robert Pattinson, she focused entirely on her career and managed to break much of this perception, re-establishing herself as one of the most talented and sought-after actors in the industry. Hopefully, she will continue to be this successful and prominent in her future career. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content, and let me know in the comments which celebrity you would like me to cover in the next video. Until we meet in the next video, take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.